So I'm going to take you through the process of how I added this new feature to be able to speak out the Irish words. So you can type, this is the website I built, and you can type in whatever you want here. And as you can see below, it'll show the old style of writing. So let's get, you can see here any Leonided letters are shown with the dot above them. So what this video is I'm going to show you how I went about adding this, which allows you to hear the actual words spoken using synthetic voices from abair.ie. So the first thing I did, if you see here, when we click it, it shows a loading box.
JSON
The first thing I did was add that. So let's show this in the code. So first, this is the loading box, and we put the element into the HTML here. Okay, and you can see here at the minute the display is none, but just to show you it exists. Now once I refresh this version, it just perpetually shows the loading box. But we want it to be dynamic. We want it to show sometimes and not other times. So to do that, we set the default display as none, so it's invisible, but it's still there on the page. And if we reload, we can see it's not visible, but it's still here. It's part of the document. So now we want to add some interactivity, or we want it to be dynamic so it can be shown and hidden. So that's the next thing we can do here. There's two little functions. One shows the loader, and it does that by setting the display to flex. And the other one there sets it to none in hide loader. So we copy these into our version down here. Now if we go to our website again, refresh, we should be able to trigger those new functions to test them out. So show loader, that seems fine, and then hide loader. That looks good. The next thing we did was we had to add the drop down and the icon. Drop down and the icon. So let's do the drop down first. So you can see here in the HTML, this is the drop down for the font style, and here's the new drop down for the voice selection. So we'll put that code into our version. And we'll go back and refresh and see what it looks like. So this is our version. And we can see the drop down exists. At the minute it doesn't do anything, but it exists. The next thing we want to add is this little icon here. So that you can see that here. It's a span element, and it's linked here to a JavaScript function that's called speakIrish. So when this icon is clicked, it should run the function called speakIrish, and that function is what should actually send the text to abair, and then abair sends it back, and then we play the sound. So we're going to put that here. We're going to refresh, and at the minute it's telling us we don't have that image, so let me just copy the image. We'll paste it in here, and we'll refresh the page, and we can see the icons there, but it's huge. We need to add some styles. So we'll go to the style page, style script, and we'll go here and we'll take these styles and we'll place them into our version. Let's reload again. Perfect. So at the minute, if I click this, you can see it's throwing this error. speakIrish is not defined. So that's our clue that that's the next part of the logic. So if we go here to the JavaScript file, we can see a function called speakIrish. So what it does is it goes to the input text and gets the value. So we can look at what the input text element is. So it's the text input. It's whatever the user types. And you can see it's updating the box down here in the old style of writing. And so when we do value, it just returns the text string inside. So you can see here. So whenever we run this line of code inside the function, it grabs whatever the current text is. So that's the first thing that's done. And it's stored as the variable called text. And this is just a check. If nothing is in the text box, then there's no point in sending it to abair. So you can see here is another line of code similar to this one, except it's operating on the voice select element, which is this dropdown. So it pulls out whatever this is set to. And we can run that line of code also. And if we change it, the value changes. Okay, so these two lines, this and this, are going to pull out the current values at that point in time. Then when we have those, we show the loader. We use that function that we first added to show the loader, to show the user that something is currently happening. We print out something just for our development. In the browser, it will print out. We should be able to see it here. So that comes from this line, speaking, and it prints out what it's actually sending. And then you can see there's another message at the bottom here, audio finished playing. So what it does anyway is it shows the loader, it prints out a console message, then inside this whole section it sends this as a payload to abair, to this endpoint. So it sends a JSON object via post with these options, and you can see the text, the actual important part, is set to txt, which we defined up here. The voice, you can see here, is just whatever we defined up here. So that's packaged up in the object, and then it's sent to abair. And then when abair returns the response, we parse it, we create a new audio element, we put our new data from abair inside the audio element, and we add this little event listener. So it just waits and listens until the audio finishes playing. Once it finishes playing, it will hide the loader. And that's it. And so let's add this code to our script. So we'll go here. And we'll add this new function, speakIrish. And let's reload the page. This is our version. Now if we click this,
Díoghaíomh a chairde, sciúthe mhór mhocail an seo.
and we should be able to change this every time we change that and click the icon. it changes the definition of this, which is then sent to abair, which then processes the input. So let's see.
Díomh a chairde scríomh ar wacail anseo.
That's working quite good.
Díomh a chairde scríomh ar wacail anseo.
So that's pretty much it. Now if we look at both these side by side, let's see. This is the same as this. So those were all the changes. That was what was involved. I've updated the actual website. You can see the link here. So that's on my GitHub, and you can find it from my YouTube page as well. So I hope you try out this little website. If you have any feedback at all, anything at all, style-wise, other features, mistakes maybe you noticed, just let me know. I'd really love to hear it. Slán go fóill.